Hello, Wisdom. I'm back again. Stephen Shields is back on the Stephen Shields radio show. How are we today? Yes, it's been wonderful. Lots of things have happened in our current world at the moment. We have a new variant of COVID-19 called Omicron. Sorry, I just blow my nose, guys. Apologize for this. Yes. Hang on. All right, I'm back. So yes, we've got a new variant of COVID called Omicron, and that's apparently that's affecting all the trade and our economy as well. The important thing is, I mean, this is not the first time we've lived in a recession. In Australia, the United States, wherever you are in the world. Just think about it like this. You can either let the recession get to you, or you can basically just say, fuck this recession. I'm going to, create great content during the recession. Yeah, you got to think Joe Biden's closing the border from South Africa, cancelling all flights. They're getting strict with their COVID testing as well. I mean, the Omicron's come from South Africa, basically. I think, our borders, they were just too slow. I mean, COVID-19 could have, I think, in my professional opinion, could have been contained much quicker. The World Health Organization warned the government about COVID-19. Okay. It could have been stopped, at the borders much quicker. Because whenever the World Health Organization gets alerted about a disease or a virus going around, I truly believe that, world government should have acted on it quick enough and just shut the border straight away, guys. Wuhan, you look at Wuhan's 80-day full lockdown in Wuhan. And now we've got a current economic recession going on. Technically, we do. I mean, we could have had another Great Depression. I maybe this is going to be something we just got to have to live with. Could be just another flu, because I don't want another lockdown. I fucking don't want another lockdown. I'm over it. Really, I'm over these lockdowns. I went hiking the other week. It's just really glad to just get out and go hiking. It's my new hobby, guys. Get out in nature. I think I went down the south coast, and it was a very hilly track. It wasn't even I think it was about a kilometre just going up hills. Bloody hard work. Good cardio workout. I don't need to go to a gym and do cardio. I got hiking for my cardio. You know that. No, but you see how the world, has changed a lot with this whole COVID normal thing. I mean, the coronavirus goes back all the way to SARS-CoV-2. It's pretty much a form of SARS, but this just became a pandemic. Jesus Christ. So I suppose, living in a recession, whatever government you got, whether it's Democrat, Republican, Liberal, Labor government. For Australia, we got Liberal, Scott Morrison. I truly believe, like, Scott Morrison has done very well in handling this pandemic for us Australian citizens. It's not an easy job. I mean, Gladys has resigned. We've got Dominic Perrottet now, our Premier of New South Wales. Basically, it's not an easy thing to handle a pandemic. Definitely not an easy thing. I mean, the governments have their pandemic handbook, but this just came out of the blue back in 2020. I remember, back in 2020, there was fucking storm damage at my local shop. My car got written off. You know, happens. And storm damage. Took the fucking roof off the shop. Took like 6 months for the fucking insurance company to go through. Basically, as insurance companies are slow and they're going to delay it. They'll try to argue their way out of a claim, but if you're in the right, well, they're going to have to pay your claim out. Yeah, I knew. I knew. 2020 was going to be a very weird year. I don't know why. I just had that gut feeling. The trouble is, we don't know how long this coronavirus will be around for. I'll be getting my booster shot next year as well. Go and get vaccinated, guys, because you got to get vaccinated to protect yourself from this virus. Because this virus is dangerous. It kills, guys. It's a dangerous virus. I want life to get back to the way it was pre-pandemic. No, I really do. I really do. I was listening to Fox News last night. About the whole Biden situation. How Joe Biden's basically handling the, border situation with Omicron, the Omicron variant of coronavirus. Yeah, it's very interesting. Look, I like Joe Biden. I think he's great. I think he's great. He won't, because of his age, he will be getting replaced soon. But look, from what's going on in the left of American politics, guys, is the unemployment too. I mean, there's unemployment here in Australia. We got the right wing government as well. It's not just that. It's coronavirus has definitely shut down a lot of business, stopped a lot of trade. If you're running an e-commerce store, you are fucked. Think about it like if you got customers who are ordering from South Africa and the borders are closing and you're running an e-commerce business, yeah, it's tough, man. Like, can't put all your eggs in one basket in business. Definitely, I've learned that as a content creator. Yet I started my life as an entrepreneur in a fucking pandemic anyway. So I think it's got to be up to you at the end of the day, and what your journey is. Whether we're in a recession, global financial crisis, Great Depression, you know, pandemic. I mean, this has definitely hit harder than the global financial crisis in 2008. It's quite sad. I mean, all you can do is just stay safe, put a mask on, guys, and get yourself vaccinated. You got to get vaccinated. When this pandemic first arrived, I'm not the only one that didn't take it serious. I thought coronavirus, or COVID-19 as you call it, was just a little flu. Honestly, let's be honest, because of no symptoms were showing up. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I thought, what the hell? It's weird. Now, whether this virus was grown in a fucking laboratory and let out accidentally, that could be. Donald Trump, you know, he could have a point about how this virus was grown when Donald Trump was the US president before Joe Biden took over. That could be. Now, I'm not saying it happened. It's possible. Coronavirus was grown in a laboratory by, scientists and possibly let out accidentally on purpose. You know, that could be a problem as well. I mean, this coronavirus pandemic has just become all about business. It's just business. Vaccines have become business. Governments making, deals with pharmaceutical companies. Australia made, a deal with AstraZeneca because they get the best supply. It becomes about supply and demand for taxpayers to fund the vaccine. You got to think Australia, America, the whole, is in a lot of fucking debt. We have a lot of debt in this country. It doesn't surprise, when China wants to come and buy the land of Australia because of debt. Australia owes a lot of money. So does America. Since the whole war on terror, the American government, especially George Bush, borrowed a lot of money because it costs money to go to war, and it's a shitload of money to go to war. And Australia too backed up. He was supporting George Bush at the time. I mean, the whole war in Iraq goes back. This was going on before I was even born. I was born in 1993. No, it's quite sad because the honest truth is war is business for global governments. It's business. You know. I mean, there's been a lot of there is a lot of corruption out there in the world. There is a lot of corruption. Just got a mosquito, guys. Sorry about that. My apologies. Just podcasting in my room and a mosquito shows up. The thing I want is getting bitten. So I'm putting some insect repellent on. And I'm inside my room. Yeah, so basically, we have a lot of debt in this, across the world due, because of all borrowing and budget cuts and shit like that. I really think, it takes years to pay off these debts, that Australia owes. It's not surprising, everything's getting made in China now. If China does take over, and if World War III does happen and with China, that is possible. Or a World War III with a virus in the future. Because that's the way we're heading, It's it becomes complicated. It becomes a political football as well. And I suppose, finding your purpose during these rough times as well. And it's very easy to listen to other people's opinions. I guess if you read an article, a news article or something like that, I mean, you might want to listen to a few other news articles too. One might be right wing, one might be left wing, and then you start to form your own opinion. You know that. I suppose, the Queensland borders just reopened. Looking at some headlines in the ABC as well. It's good to. I don't mind the ABC. I mean, they I think they're neither. They don't support either government, but it's good. You know, so dealing with recession as content creators as well. It's all about just creating your best work, just staying productive as you can. You look back to Alexander the Great, living, during the Black Plague or the Black Death. Leonardo da Vinci as well, creating this amazing engineering. Bach, J.S. Bach, They all lived during times of economic recession, poverty, but they created amazing music. And just kept on going. And that's all you can do is, just keep on going, Keep on creating great quality work, great quality content during recessions, and, take your mind off it. Because I always look at things, from a long-term perspective, not short-term. I mean, everything for me is all about long-term. I mean, you look at inflation now. Everything's going up in price, supply and demand as well. So that's affecting people financially too. Food prices are going up. I suppose, you just got to keep at it. Just keep consistent. Like, consistency is key when you create content. Full-time content creator. And it's all about finding your purpose and your why. Like, why am I, doing this? Why? That's something I've had to learn my why and my purpose in life too. And just keep on going as well. It's all about just being you and being the true you that you can be. And that's all it is during these times of need. I guess finding your what you want to do. And loving yourself during these rough times too is a must. I truly believe, just keep, if you're meditating, keep doing your meditation too. Meditation practice is important. Getting out in nature, like hiking, it's a new hobby of mine, and I like it. I love getting out in nature. Um, and I love, getting out, because being in a lockdown, for 2 months, it's been rough on people, guys. It's not been easy. being told, oh, we've got to stay home all of a sudden. When we have our stay-at-home orders, and then mental health has gone up a lot because it could drive you crazy. You know that. And keeping yourself, mentally stable during a recession is important. I suppose, finding your true passion and your true calling in life takes time too. Like right now, I'm just sitting there. I'm doing a podcast with you on Wisdom because this is awesome, this app. I love this app. And I'm someone who likes to know what's going on in the world. I've, got a few podcasts to listen to. CNN fires anchor Chris Cuomo. How do you say it? Cuomo over advisor role during brother's sex scandal as New York governor. Oh, okay. This has come from the ABC. This is from CNN. I've never really been a huge fan of CNN for some reason. I don't like how they just portray news media. I know they're on the left and they favour the Biden government. I like listening to Fox News, Sky News. That's my news media. There's nothing wrong. Look, everyone's got their own view on news. Donald Trump, he copped a lot from the media during his presidency. I mean, he was bombarded huge. I mean, I'll say, yeah, he done good for the American people in some states. I don't know, it's just some of the stuff he says and the way he behaved was just unpresidential. Now, I don't know, Donald Trump isn't he's more of a, businessman. Really should not have been the US president. He didn't have that, how do I say it? He didn't have he didn't have that personality to be a president, a good leader. And it's not just Donald Trump too. Obama was the same. He didn't really promise on what he said he was going to do. George Bush was going on about war all the time. I mean, to be a world leader, it either makes you or breaks you. It's not an easy job. And I've got a guest waiting here, and we'll invite you on stage when we can, if it is going to work. Hello?
Hello, Stephen. I'm pronouncing that correctly.
How are ya?
I am well. How about you?
Good to meet you. Deo is your name.
Yes, yes. And I'm gonna call you Stephen, and not Superman. but I love this. Is this an avatar technically, or your illustration? I love.
Yeah, that's my avatar with my emoji. How are you? Where are you from?
London. And for you, because I could ask you the same question back, or I could do a guess, but then it would only be an accent guess. And I'm torn between, I mean, it's quite obvious, right? I'm torn between Australia, New Zealand, or South Africa. But I'm willing to ask to see where are you from?
Sydney, Australia. It's about 5
Hey!
to 9 in the morning. I just got up, having my coffee, did my meditation, thought I'd do a show on wisdom and talk to some amazing people like you. So what do you do for your career, Deo?
Oh, okay. That is so awesome, by the way. I'm glad to hear wisdom is in your morning routine. So I am a tech founder. I'm actually the
Mhm.
founder of Wisdom, for disclosure. So,
Awesome. I love this app. I'm really thankful you created this because I tried the Green Room, Clubhouse. I was just getting no audience engagement. I like the one-to-one on wisdom. So you've done a good job.
oh, that is so great. That is music to my ears. As you said, yeah, we do have this unique one-to-one format. And I love it because it is it's a unique format, and I think it does generate a unique type of engagement.
Hmm.
And of course, we have, there's other social audio apps with other types of engagement for other purposes. But yeah, I'm really glad Wisdom is working for you, which I can tell because yeah, I love it. You've got so much variety
Mm.
in your talks, and I'm not sure, but I'm guessing because I kind of look at the profile users on Wisdom, and it feels like sometimes you just have thoughts around topics and you come on Wisdom and you talk about them. It sounds like.
I do. I'm not a one. I'm not a one. No, I'm not a one topic podcast show because it gets
Yeah.
very boring. I am a musician, by the way, and uh,
Yes, I
trained.
noticed.
Yeah, and if I was to talk music all the time on my show, I'd get so bored.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's really interesting, right? In terms of how people are using Wisdom, and to your point, some people
Mm.
uh, have a specialty like yourself, and have quite a unique specialty because it's not every day that you meet a musician, and particularly, as she said, like orchestral classical
Mm.
music. But yeah, some people want to
Mm.
come on Wisdom and they just want to break from, they don't want to talk about the thing that they always do. They want to talk about different things.
Mm. Exactly. I wanted to ask how can I claim the top mentor badge on Wisdom? Do you have any tips for anyone starting out on Wisdom to get the
Oh,
mentor badge?
I was going to say, sure, absolutely. Let me. Now, we do not yet have DMs on the Wisdom app,
Mm-hmm.
but however, we are working on features that will enable the community to connect more. But what you
Mm-hmm.
can do, let's see how many people are listening in. Hold on, I just want to make sure I give you the right link. So if you go to our website, wisdom.audio, right, and then /FAQ, there's a
Wisdom.
very long, yeah, you want to go now?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, did you find it? There's quite a long list of FAQs because we kind of build it out as we get the questions. One of them will be around how do I become a top mentor? Don't know if you found it.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So yeah, if you click through that link and you follow the steps, you
Mm-hmm.
absolutely should get it because you've already created so much content. So
Mm.
I would be really excited for that. So
So
definitely.
where is it on the facts and question page? How do I get my contact page? Yeah, I can go here to apply. Is that right?
Yes, there
I
should
think.
be a.
Yeah, and what if you'd like, you can share our episode on your social media if you'd like to as well, Deo.
Yes. Oh, sorry. I thought you were telling me. And hold on, let me just take a look while we're here. So, because I can see you have. I'm just checking your socials first of all, because I know one of our qualifications is that we do look for a certain number of followers on platforms. I'm just tapping through to yours. However, we can always make exceptions for awesome wisdomers, and I think your content is really awesome. And then you're through to your podcast link. So yes, please put it through, and I'm going to make sure at the back end that it happens. I don't do this for everyone, so anyone listening in, just pretend you don't hear.
Mhm.
And sorry, you had a second question for me? Remind me, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
How
just
do
asking you.
you? Yeah. How did you create Wisdom, and how long is it taking you to build this app for people?
Okay, sure. Just to check, was there a question you had just before that question? I feel like there might have been
I
some.
think so. I just forgot.
Yeah, because it was a useful question about wisdom, and it
Mm.
flew out of my mind. It was to do with, okay, it was a top mentor, and
Yeah,
then
top mentor badge. That was the one.
I was checking your following, and then
Hmm.
you asked, oh my gosh, my brain. You asked something about sharing a talk. Did I?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you'd like to share our episode
Yes,
today on your
yes, that
social
was it.
media?
That was it. That was it. You
Yeah.
you you said to me, aha, that you would like to share, and basically for us to reshare across wisdom. And first of all, we love to feature top mentors across the channels. And the best thing you can do, I just want to make sure I direct you to the right place on the website. It's probably going to be, we're going to put you to help. Yes, yes, perfect. So if you go to wisdom.audio, right, and probably around the bottom right hand corner, unless you're on your phone, there's a big purple help button.
Hmm.
If you fill that out, please just mention you've spoken to me and you would love us to feature you, and just include the link to your talk. And then what's really helpful is if you just include like your social media handles for each platform. Does that make sense? So that whoever picks it up can just like copy paste, and like your at for Instagram or for Twitter will pull through. We would love to feature you.
Yeah. Is it in the contact section?
Either that or help. There should be like a purple help button,
Yeah, purple help.
or the contact us. Like
Yep.
either one is once you go to contact us, it should be, maybe it's like a hovering button. It should be at the bottom of your screen for help.
Oh.
Do you see that?
I'm on my phone. Talks, mentor, company.
Oh, it's almost like a pop-up button. So as soon as you land on wisdom.audio, just have a look. Let me just have a look on my phone. Yeah, for me, it's right at the bottom of my phone. So if you scroll all the way, it's like sorry, because I'm looking at my desktop, but it's like a little purple circle with a question mark for like help.
Oh, yeah, got it. Oh, yep, contact us. It takes me there. Okay.
Perfect. So please, what would be great is if you could fill that out. And I'll make sure at the back end that we pick it up. And yeah, we would love to feature one of your talks. That
This
was
would
it.
be,
I knew you had asked me something and I didn't want to forget
yeah.
it.
No, Because this, how long is this taking you to build?
So, oh my gosh, well, this is the thing, right? Because for Wisdom, we've been live. Wisdom, we're about 2 months old officially in terms of when we
You
push into the App Store, but it feels like 2 years. But that's in the best possible way. 2 years, not in the longest way. But I would say, think back to like last summer
Mhm.
is when that's when Wisdom sort of became a thing, if that makes sense, or when we
Mhm.
started working on it. So yes, quite a
And
while.
so this app, how? So have you got developers, or have you done this yourself?
Oh, absolutely a team. Absolutely. My word. This one, yeah, this would be a lot for any one person. So absolutely a team. Yes.
And what I like is the monetization you've done on Wisdom, because I used my first $5 gift voucher at Amazon. Was that easy to be able to partner with Amazon?
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Sorry, I love hearing stories about people who have cashed in their mentor coin. I think it's like really awesome. And if you ever would want to tweet about that and tag Wisdom, that's really awesome, because not everyone believes that. A lot of people, they don't quite believe. They're like, oh, we can just come and talk. Yes, and I would say it was straightforward. Maybe what will be a bit more of a challenge for us is covering countries that don't have such an arrangement in place. But for the
Mhm.
markets that we were in, yes, super straightforward. And like you said, no, I'm really pleased that you love it, because as we said, for me, Mental Coin is a step in the right direction. So it's a way of at least acknowledging and thanking creators for the efforts they put in on the platform. Now, of course, for me, that's just the first step, and an absolute next priority, which we're working really hard on, is looking at creator monetization, but actually monetary monetization,
Mhm.
where we'll be enabling the creators on Wisdom to monetize their advice through audio. And we're still working out exactly what that's going to look like. But in essence, I'm looking to resolve that problem where I think a lot of us who are experts, sometimes we struggle to monetize our expertise. So you will constantly have
Mm.
people say, oh, can I pick your brain about this? And I don't know what it's going to be for you. Do you get a lot of parents
Mm.
saying, do you ever get a lot of parents saying, I think my child is talented in this instrument? Which one should they play? I'm wondering what kind of things people might ask you, but I could think you could. Do people ever ask you questions around your classical?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes this is a new journey for me. Parents might say, "Oh, should my son or daughter play clarinet or be a string player?"
Yeah.
I always say, whatever your child wants to play and what they want to do is what they should pursue as well. See, I tried to play violin right at a very
Mm-hmm.
late age. I was unsuitable for it. I think my hands are too big. If
Oh
it
wow.
was something that I could have done, maybe I could have been a cellist or a double bass player. But yeah, it. You know, with a musical instrument, it's how people could sell the instrument to.
Do you know what? This is so interesting. So, because whenever I speak to wisdomers, I'm always putting in requests of what I think they should talk about, even though you are absolutely free to talk about whatever you wish to talk about. But can I just
Mm.
say, there is a very big market of parents. A lot of parents want their children to play a classical instrument. And then because a lot of
Mm.
parents do not have any most parents have, as with me, most of us have an insufficient knowledge, right, about classical music. So they will always
Mhm.
say the piano. Um,
Mhm.
and not everyone, is necessarily suited for the piano. And then I find like a lot of
Mm.
young people like the idea of the drums, so they'll go to the drums. And I don't know if anything is out there, but I guess I'm getting to, I really do feel there is a space for advice. Does that make sense? To steer parents in terms of, like you said, okay, your child is interested, but how do you
Mm-hmm.
expose them to the different types so they can make an informed choice, right? Because a lot of people will jump to the drums, because it sounds cool, it sounds noisy, or the piano is always a go-to. I personally also believe, when I'm talking more now, there needs to be like people like me that when I say I have no musical talent, when I say my
Mm-hmm.
piano lessons were a waste, they were such a waste. Of money. And I had the key moment. Let me tell you when I knew it was a waste. One of the schools I attended, we
Mm-hmm.
had a quite big contingent of students from Hong Kong, maybe just because of Hong Kong and Britain. So we had a contingent that came over. So imagine we were all
Mm-hmm.
like 11 years old. I was there struggling to do grade 1 piano. These girls had
Mm-hmm.
finished every single grade and they were
Mm-hmm.
doing the advanced things. And I remember looking at them and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this probably really isn't for me because they were like so talented and I was struggling
Mm-hmm.
enough and I didn't enjoy it either. But yes, I'm just pushing that to you. People want to know what
Yeah,
instrument.
I'll tell you, some parents push their kids because they want them to be the next Lung Lung, the pianist, and some kids aren't motivated to do it. You got to want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I played clarinet at a an academic level, and that's not easy. It's mentally exhausting. But I had disadvantages too because I got big hands. My hands more supported to be a pianist or a bassoonist. So these are the little things I had to overcome. But when you want something bad, you just keep going. So that too, Deo, can throw kids off music is pressure from parents.
Oh, absolutely. And then also, I think sometimes uh, a lot of kids will take on an instrument
Mm,
because they want to qualify to attend a particular school.
mm,
And playing an instrument makes you look well rounded,
mm-hmm,
even if they don't particularly like the instrument. It's kind of part of the hustle or the package,
mm-hmm.
uh,
Exactly.
which is also a thing. No shade to one of my neighbors. His son really cannot play the violin, and it's very noisy, but we had to endure the noise for a number of years. But I think now he's in the school, he stopped, thank goodness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and music should be fun as well. I think.
Yeah, I ideally, right? Ideally, it should be. And for those of us that share walls or we live in like apartments or flats,
Mm-hmm.
I also like it when I live near talented musicians because I do hear the noise a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Oh, I wish one of my neighbors. I wish he would learn more songs, but hey,
Mm-hmm.
we rotate the same 7 songs again and again.
So what's your background? Did you go to university, or what's been your story?
Yes, I did. I went to, it's called the University of Manchester, which is in the north of England. And why did I choose there? I chose there primarily because A, it was a bit far away from home, so it meant that I would get to, you know, be like independent.
Mm-hmm.
And, but then also, it's known as the home of the first stored program computer.
Mm-hmm.
In essence, we know, I suppose, when the innovation in computing and the history of computing, that university had a very significant role. So, in essence, the first computer that could actually store and save a program and then execute it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was partially why I chose it, because I was always interested in computers, which of course leads me to here today.
Wow. See, I tried to do computer science as well, but that was very difficult for me. Um, yeah, I tried to actually be a software developer, Deo. Tried to code, but I couldn't get my head around it.
Do you know what? I think that's it's understandable in that I do think that there is room for innovation in terms of how technology is taught and offered. So, for example, when I chose computer science, all I knew was I like computers, so I'm going to do computer science. In retrospect, looking back, maybe I should have done software engineering. I
Hmm.
may have been more suited because, like computer science, the degree was about one third maths.
Hmm.
Am I using all of that maths now? No. Um, but then maybe for for some people that are going to go into the very mathsy side, and yeah, I mean, I know we're on a tangent here, but yeah, I think so because I feel like oftentimes when people talk about careers in tech now, the first thing that is pushed and spoken about is coding, and there's
Mm.
so many more aspects around the intersection of business and technology and functional design and data, um, even project management, even the finance aspect. There's so many aspects, but computing is sort of wrapped in where people look like coding is really pushed first,
Hmm.
and not everyone has likes to code. Not everyone enjoys that particular aspect of problem solving, because to your point, it is flipping the brain to work in a really I don't want to say weird way, but it's not always intuitive, and you don't necessarily need to know about binary numbers and logic gates and computer architecture and all of these things. So yeah, I think there's room to, I don't know. I feel the field can be re-examined, basically.
Yeah, because software engineering is not easy, and mathematical equations is very difficult, Deo, as well. But see, building this wisdom, there'd be a lot of coding involved too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. A lot of a lot of coding, a lot of some mathematical applications. But what I will also say is that for me, learning programming, the
Hmm.
fundamentals of programming, C, C++, Java, object oriented, and then the whole side around maths. Oh my goodness. I would just say that for me, learning the degree was a much steeper learning curve than it was to actually go and practice technology within the the workplace. And that's why I was saying around. I do think that there is room for, and I don't know whether it's degrees or courses to just re-examine and approach
Hmm.
how they teach tech, because to your point, when it goes into the very math and logical side of coding, and then oftentimes that doesn't sit with people, and then they're just not interested.
Hmm.
Whereas if it was approached from perhaps another angle, because not everybody needs to be in the very mathematical side, and now there's libraries and there's functions and things, so you don't necessarily, a lot of the things that I learned how to do, they're not necessarily needed now because those functions are kind of wrapped within libraries, or people like Amazon and Google, they have these capabilities within the stack already.
Hmm.
So it doesn't necessarily matter that I might understand the networking TCP IP protocol and how to make two computers talk to each other, because now there's a company that does it all and you just plug in. So
Well, isn't Netflix trying to do all this stuff? Get people to. They're trying to build this algorithms to recommend all this content. People, um, a lot of big tech companies are trying to get people addicted to, and they know this. Um, this is why I'm not a big fan of Netflix. And these algorithms. Deo. I like to manually find my content as well.
that is very, I mean, yeah, you've tapped into, yeah, a really interesting area, to your point around Yeah, how some products will be designed because they want to maximize their users' time on the app. I will raise my hand and say, note with wisdom with the timer. Part of the intentions around the timer is to be intentional in terms of the time you're spending on the app. So, like now I can see that my wonderful 30 minutes, which has actually flown by because I really enjoyed it, is coming to an end soon. So it's been very intentional with the design of wisdom that we don't want to loop people into doom scrolling, right? And looking for the next hit, the next high. It's about a one-to-one, very focused conversation that, ideally should be enriching. And then, when this times comes to the end, it's entirely up to you, Stephen, in terms of saying, well, am I gonna, stay and talk to the next person and put another 30 minutes, or am I gonna close out? But to your point, definitely a lot of apps are designed. Yeah, I mean, YouTube has the autoplay and, to keep you in. And sometimes it's okay to be kept in depending on what you're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what you're doing. Netflix is passive, right? It's for you to forget and absorb.
I use Disney Plus. I prefer Disney Plus. I like that better than Netflix. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't tried that yet. To be honest, I'm probably not ever going to try it unless I go and hang around some children. But I haven't tried it yet.
It's just
But
got the shows I want to watch. Like American Dad and the cartoons that I like. The Clone
oh,
Wars is pretty.
it
That's
has
some great.
American Dad
Yeah.
because that's quite an adult cartoon. I didn't know they had adult stuff.
No, it's funny stuff. But no, Deo, before the room closes, you got 2 minutes. I'd really like to thank you for creating wisdom as well. I look forward to being the top mentor as well. I'll submit that form after our episode today. Is there anything you want to say before you finish?
No, I just want to say thank you for your time. I'm so glad we've connected. I want to encourage anybody listening in. I want to encourage you to give Stephen a follow. I have certainly enjoyed my 30 minutes and we've talked about anything and everything. And yeah, I love how you are using wisdom, right? And you're using it in a way unique to you and very different. So, and as you know, yes, whenever I speak to interesting members of the community, I am always like, you should really do a talk about classical music. But of course, you're free to use wisdom as we wish. But I will say that if you did have that talk around musical instruments, I do have a lot of friends who are parents who I would share it with because I'm like, they just need to relax. And
Mm-hmm.
to your point, make it fun and work out whether it's the right thing for them. But no, I just want to thank you for being here and for connecting with the community and just being a great wisdomer.
No, this is awesome. This is an awesome app. I look forward to future updates you've got planned as well. And the monetizing's been very good because I've been on, Anchor, Green Room. It's been difficult to monetize my work.
Okay, amazing. Well, I'm glad, as you said, I'm glad we can be a part of that journey. And of course, I haven't looked into your work, but just as an instinctive tip, I know you don't want to talk about classical music, but I think there would be a space for you to monetize in tapping into that intersection of parents pulling their children into classical music and helping them choose what they would be suited to and all of
Mm.
that kind of stuff. Just a tip. I think there's a
Hmm.
market.
Yeah, I'm happy to do an episode on music as well. That'd
It
be
could be
good.
interesting. All right, Stephen. Have a
All
wonderful
right,
rest
Dad.
of the day. Really enjoyed speaking to you.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right, that was a fantastic episode with Deo, and that was awesome. I'd like to thank everyone for listening to today's podcast of the Stephen Shields Radio Show. Also, if you'd like to get your podcast ad free, you can sponsor the show for $1 a month on Anchor podcast app. This helps support me as a content creator, because it does take a lot of time to create the Stephen Shields radio show. I'd also like to, thank all the listeners for today's show as well. This was a fantastic podcast, probably one of the best episodes I've done on wisdom so far, actually. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you're on Wisdom right now, just tap on my profile banner and click subscribe so you get new episodes every Friday at 6 p.m. Sydney, Australia time. I've got music on Bandcamp as well. I'll put the links in the podcast description when it goes live on this Friday at 6 p.m. And if you could purchase my music as well, this helps, as me as a content creator, because, a lot of time, passion, and energy goes into, composing my work. Also, too, please share any of your favorite episodes on the Stephen Shields radio show to your social media so it gets more people listening as well. Yeah, this was awesome. This was fantastic. Yeah. Also, follow me on Webtalk if you're looking to monetize your social media page. Webtalk is great for entrepreneurs, startups who are starting out. I'll put a link in the description. If you're looking to for keyword research on YouTube, that's you're a small channel. Morningfame is very helpful. I'll leave a link in the description when this episode goes live on Friday. To all my listeners, wherever you are in the world, have a good night, good evening, good morning to you. I'm going to close the room right now. I'd like to thank you all for listening, and bye for now.